Today we're talking about fractions, and I thought what a great idea to show it. I have a cupcake here and I have two kids to share this cupcake. How would I cut it? Would I cut it over here? Would I cut it over there? When we're cutting it and we want to share, we want it to be equal. So if I cut it like this, would this be an equal for my kids to share?
No.
No, it would not. This child would be very upset, and this one would be pretty happy. But it is not equal and not fair, and we cannot call these fractions. If I cut it right in the middle, right in the half, like that, is that equal and fair?
Yes.
Yes, it is. And so now we can use fraction names for this. These are two halves. So that's really important to remember in fractions, that equal pieces can be called fractions. This is not fractions because the pieces are not equal. Right, so fractions name equal parts, as we talked about, equal parts of a whole. So in this example, I have a rectangle. This is one whole piece, one whole. If I cut it into two equal pieces, like this, those are called halves. And these are words you're going to need to know how to spell. If I cut it into three equal pieces, like that, it is called thirds. If I cut it into four equal pieces, that is called fourths or quarters. That has two names. 5 equal pieces is called fifths. 6 equal pieces is called sixths. I just jumped over to 8 equal pieces, which is called eighths. So now we're getting into the numbers and we're adding a THS, or on 8 we're just adding an HS. And then 10 equal pieces would be called tenths. So if you can see the whole chart, those are the words you're going to need to know for this math unit. So we can cut anything into fractions, and we're going to work with our pattern blocks today. And here we have a hexagon as one whole. And we played with this actually a couple weeks ago when we did area. So if we can cut this into equal pieces, we can call them fraction names. So let's look down here. Is this cut up into equal pieces?
No.
No, it is not. These are not all the same size and same shape. So this is not a fraction, not equal. But if I come over here and I show you that, yeah, I can cut this into two pieces to make that whole, these are called halves, correct? If I cut it into three pieces, like the next one, 3 equal pieces, this is called thirds. And if I cut it into 6 equal pieces, or triangles here, then those are called sixths. So these are examples of fractions. So if it asks you to name the equal parts, then we know these are called halves and these are called thirds. But how do you know they're equal parts? The answer is each of these parts is exactly the same size and the same shape. They are congruent. We learned that word a while back. So your answer would be, I know that these are thirds because every shape is congruent, which means they are the same size and the same shape. Now when we're counting fractions, which will come up later in the week, if you take one piece, you are taking one out of the 3 pieces. That's called 1/3. If I then say, well, how many are left up here? Well, I have 2/3 left up there. And then if I want to say, well, how many, if I put them back all together, how many thirds is that? Well, that is 3/3. And when I have all those pieces together, that's actually equal to one whole. So in this case, 3/3 equals one whole.